What a lovely song. This is entitled Expression by Helen Jane Long. I am playing my George Winston radio station on Pandora, so there may be some commercial interferences in the background. Been craving piano lately. I don't know. Just lately as of yesterday, but I don't know about y'all, but like 24 hours can seem like a flippin' lifetime. Okay, and now a car alarm wants to go off. I don't know if you can hear that, but now 2 car alarms are going off. Alright, I don't know if this means right on time or curious kudos. I am here. I am back. I am here from, oh my gosh, I don't know if this is distracting to me. Oh, okay, thank you. It just stopped. Thank you. Now there's a truck passing. Oh gosh, I don't know. Okay. So, yo, I'm back. From new studio, like legit broadcasting, new frequencies left and right. Life's a trip, Kano. You know, I don't even know how to begin. I had all these ideas before I hit record. I don't even know how I'm gonna do this, right? Here's the thing. And here we go. I don't know how I'm gonna go about this. It's becoming clear, like, I really can't overthink it. Like, I can't wait to be ready, or, oh, I'll do it in the morning, or whatever. Like, I have things that I want to express, and, forgive me, I sort of woke up like this. Like, once I decided I was going to do this, I did kind of, like, throw my hair into something. A clip is everything, and, like, throw on some earrings, and, like, bra and shirt and stuff, but, like, I'm not, like, ready. I'm not, like, woke yet for the day. But I was reading and thinking and things, and I was just like, I've been having this urge to want to do these videos for a while, and I keep doing that whole wait for blah, 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 and it's like, what am I trying to control with that? Like, WTF, like, the goal is, like, the motivation is innocent, but it's about being true to my strategy and authority. And I'm a mental projector, and I need to soundboard. In fact, my one channel is the 1156, from the ajna to the throat, channel, the storyteller. So it is, I have to come to grips that my videos are not going to, like my little vlogs or whatever, they're not probably going to be short. And maybe there'll be a way to, like, condense that, but I don't know. I'm not a short answer kind of gal. Like, I need to talk things out. I don't have, like, a spot in my body that gives me that information per se. I need to speak it and then hear how it sounds amidst different people, and then I can feel it in, how it lights up in my body, because now I'm more than likely tapping into, some electromagnetic connections with them. Now I'm like, oh, I have access, and I can feel how it feels in all these different centers. Now, this is all human design talk. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to get on the human design kick. It is a brilliant system that ties in the Chinese I Ching, astrology, the Hindu chakra system, quantum mechanics. It's brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. It makes a lot of sense for me, and that's why I'm well into a year of deliberate experimentation and observation. and I've taken classes towards becoming a certified analyst. And I'm in a period right now of, you know, integration and embodiment. So I'm between classes, and I'm kind of like noticing how it is in the mind, of feeling my way through the ocean. And it's peculiar. There have been quite a few awarenesses. I mean, you know, in that whole miracles are always happening. And if you're noticing, I mean, like, it really is difficult not to see this stuff once you are paying attention, on all sorts of levels. And I guess that just pertains to, you know, that which you seek seeks you. You know, what you focus on, you attract more. That's you know, I forget the word for it right now, but you know what I'm talking about. Like, you know, don't think of a yellow car and then you see yellow cars everywhere, whatever. Forget the psychological term for that. It'll come, maybe. It will bug me until I'm done. But there's a part of me that's like, if I don't just do this stuff, like these videos or whatever, when I'm in the moment, they're not gonna happen. And that's fine. Like, I'll take notes. I really, like, I could scroll to any picture in my phone right now, any note in my notepad right now, and like any scrap of paper around here, and I can easily go into a story of why I saved that, or what, you know, crazy understanding that little thing brought to me. And it will become a story. I don't know how to speak not in stories. And in fact, it's one of those things, like, now that I'm, you know, like I said, you know, a year, they say it's 7 years to decondition, but I'm not going to say but, like, I'm sure there's probably a lot more to experience. Oh, God. But with a good year as a mental projector, it's curious to just notice what you're noticing, you know, like following the transits. And I guess my birthday will be a decent marker. I was reintroduced, I guess, to human design near the end of July, the beginning of August. I was like really like devouring everything online. And then an opportunity to take a class with Lavina Archers presented itself, and so boom, jumped on in. So by the time of my birthday, I was a little early in a lot early into my experiment as far as just paying attention. You know, I was using my body graph to, track the transits and just be, ooh, set the mood. To track the transits and see how they affected me. And, you know, it was so early on, so I didn't even know a fraction of the stuff I know now, which is crazy because that only means I only know a fraction of what is possible. Like, so crazy. But, you know, it's about the journey, right? So by the time of my birthday, I remember having this moment of like, oh snap, the sun and the earth are in my actual gate. Like, what does that mean? Like, where my sun and earth is? And I was like, yeah, no duh, it's your birthday. Of course the sun and the earth are in the same position. I mean, it's all of the other planets and how they all, and, you know, the nodes and how they all work together and their lines and tones and blah, 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 blah. How all of that is like that snapshot picture. But we do get 70% of, you know, our influence from our design and body, or personality and body designs, sun and earth. So, you know, I've always been the kind of person to get reflective around my birthday, my born day, my solar return. Just kind of sort of taking stock. It's like a good pinpoint, you know? To reflect on all sorts of things that have happened, you know? It's like, I think about when those last videos were done, I don't even know, like, I guess I could look on YouTube and see. I'm not interested in that right now, per se, in the, for being specific, but I'll say that it feels like it was forever ago. Like, I mean, I feel like such a totally different person. I mean, like, still that person, but like infinitely different in terms of just the surrendering and, you know, moving about. So it is curious to me. Today is, you know, the sun and earth did move into 64, line 1. My sun earth is 64, line 5, because my birthday is on the 8th. And that's where it will be then. And maybe I'll link to this in this dealio. But for my heads, here's my design. And so, ugh. Ooh, this is curious. You see, girl, shoot, look. Ay. 5. Oh, lordy. Okay, well, you know, y'all know how to read. You can see the black. Oh, my earth is not 63. I'm a dork. Okay, well, the sun is 64. That's what I mean. You know, okay, Leslie, you were having a moment. It's not that the sun and earth are always in the same gate, but they're always in the same line. I'll just carry on. There's part of me that's like, this is why you don't do this. Like, oh, this is why you don't do this. You've messed up. You're wrong. You know what? Fuck it. Yes, I was wrong. I saw it and I corrected it. Anyways, noticing that the sun is in the same gate. And, yeah. Moving right along about that. The 64 is the gate before completion. You like, look at this. Look at how beautiful. These cards are like nuts how beautiful they are. Oh, gosh. And they are from the Human Design System. I feel like I'm dyslexic. I can't go left and it goes right. The Human Design System Rave I Ching cards about the gates and lines. And this is before completion. And it's transition, like birth, requires a determined strength for the passage through, making sense of the past through reflection. Now it is a gate of confusion. It is pressurized mental activity because it is in the head center. It is a pressure center. It is fuel. I really resonated when I read something about fuel. Like, when I hear pressure, that just didn't resonate for me. Like, it was just difficult for me to conceptualize. But then when I was thinking about fuel, I was thinking, you know, because the other centers lower in the body, you know, the spleen, the solar plexus, the sacral, the heart, ego, these are motor centers. So they're like motors in the engine. And okay, I don't know if I'm going to be making sense, but, you know, I just want to capture the start of this thought, I guess, because I have so many other things that I want to talk about. This is how these videos get so long. Where am I already at? 13:43. Okay, whatever. So, and then, like, because it's mechanics, it's my mechanics. So if you have these motors, it's like an engine. And the fuel. So if you have too much gasoline, right, in a car, it will become a pressure. It's like it's just building and building. It's seeking expression. The motors are moving that flow of the fuel to keep this thing going. And then you have, you know, the expression through the throat. And, you know, it's really quite a beautiful thing when it's all flowing properly. And I was thinking about, I came across something the other day. Oh, this flows beautifully. It was it was on Instagram, and you know I follow like human design people, of course. And this cat, Gato Magic CK, well, Gato Magic with a CK, not anything extra, said, I was journaling about what I should do for this new moon. I got in touch with my deepest depths and asked her, what do you want? She said the most annoying thing possible. I want nothing more. Ugh. But like, how am I supposed to manifest anything if you don't want anything? How am I supposed to make boss moves? Nothing more. Ugh, rude. That's when she responded that I'm not meant to move energy. I'm dispersing my power all over the damn place in an effort to make shit happen. I'm going against what I actually want, which is nothing. I want to be still. I want the universe to come to me. Projector AF. I don't like. Oh, I just. I don't like the feeling of taking action for no reason. I like following my quiet, lazy, romantic curiosities throughout the day. I like to laugh. I like to read. I like to perform dumb stuff to invisible cameras. And I guess what I desire most is to feel free enough to do those things without the added fear of I'm not doing enough that comes with being a projector. So, what if I stood so still and so committedly in my power, so deeply me, that the mass of my power pooling in one spot actually made me into a gravitational force to be reckoned with? A star born. Which brings me to science. How are stars born? Gas and dust is disturbed by some nearby phenomena. Shitty life events, anyone? Then those particles clump together and draw inward. All of that inward energy collapses in on itself and rotates around, spinning, pulling more and more material in on itself, creating a dense core. Millions of years of this shit and some dope blasts happen. So yeah, projectors. Your stars, okay? Again, yo, that's Instagram Godo Magic. GODOMAGICK. And I saw it, I don't know, probably from a human design or projector hashtag something. But yo, like when it showed up, I was just like, yeah, like I've never thought about that. Like the whole thing about projectorship is patience, waiting for the invitation, right? And, you know, I'm also a Reiki master, and, you know, so I'm into energy healing and all that dope stuff. And I do incorporate human design into my Reiki sessions in terms of, like, I will visualize that person's Rave mandala or their blueprint. And while I'm working on them and seeing the energy kind of like going in and like if these are tubes and channels or like, you know, yeah, tubes and channels. They're channels, gates and channels. And, you know, so if like healing and energy work is connected with deconditioning, which is the problem for all of this shit, is like all this damn conditioning everywhere. So when I'm doing energy healing, I do see it like, you know, we're going in and we're, you know, kind of like brilloing away at some of the gunk. And, you know, sometimes it takes several times. And also it's just a matter of like what the person is willing to release, right? Like you can't just go in and just clear stuff out. And so looking at that inwardly is like, I can study human design and look at other people's blueprints and everything like that. And I do, but a part of it is really a matter of, it's about studying yourself. You know, you study, like, even though as a projector, I'm, you know, here to help generators or to help the others, like to help the system, you know, to guide it a little bit. Like, hey, let's just nudge you this way. It's still, oh, where was I going with that? There's something important, I think. Oh, I'm sure it'll come back. Projector, here to guide the system. Oh, scrubbing away, clearing. Anyways, yeah. So, like, you know, it's part of clearing it out. So it's a matter of like the energy of the Maya, the design, can flow through a little more fluidly, a little more clearly, I guess. And so as part of, oh yeah. See? Even though being a projector is about guiding the other, like that whole, you have to love yourself first before anyone else can love you, blah, blah, blah. Like, you have to, like, it's about knowing thyself. So the more I focus and work on myself, then I'm just naturally going to be a better guide for others. So I'll be paying better attention to the electromagnetics. Like, I'll be aware of what's flowing through. Like, I mean, it's just, I'll be able to witness myself and understand what's being triggered and maybe recognize the source. I don't know, like, actually, like, that's so mental. And so I'm already getting into, like, but that is a good indicator of what else is possible. I already those were a lot of possibilities. So what else is possible? Could be anything. So in that regard, it's like, what if I could be so still? What if it's not, when people are like, self-care is not selfish, what if it is about, like, you have to, like, be focused and understanding your conditioning and clearing and brewing out your stuff, like, and that's that practice and dedication. And ultimately, like, that whole, as it gets easier, and then it gets easier, like, as you're doing that, things will naturally flow to you. They have to. And it will be in alignment, but it will be in alignment with your authentic, which might potentially be unconscious desires. But those are the desires that are uniquely yours, that are being asked from you from the Maya to a degree. I've been inspired to read also, so I was reading Inside the Body of God by Karen Curry Parker. And, I was reading at the spot and I was like, you're a radiant and magnetic being. You're magnetic, meaning you attract the object or feeling of your focus. In addition, you are also radiant. And so it's like, again, to my human design folks, you understand the magnetic monopole holding the personality and body designs together. But it's magnetic, so it is attracting things into our experience. And so I say, and then also we are radiant, right? So we are broadcasting of our vibration of our aura. And then you get into human design and how is your aura going? Like, as a projector, you're like, I'm hitting the center of you, son. Literally. Son. But also, like, there is still your vibration. Like, if you're looking at, like, you're floating through space, like, just how you're attracting, being magnetized to certain connections and frequencies and things like that. So what if, and I feel like to a degree it's a little bit radical, like, what if it's just like, it can be so focused, like I am all about me. Which, you say that, and that is said with an understanding, I think, when you're at a higher level, that, like, even being all about me, of course I'm about others, because I'm about the collective. I mean, it's in my design, and I feel very passionately about that. So it's just like, naturally, everybody. But what if you could be so inward focused that, as you're so inwardly focused and clearing out those gates and the channels of the programming and the conditioning, that, like, it's building up this gravitational force, right? Like, and then it's almost like Quake. Wait, was that her name? Oh gosh, from Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., formerly Daisy Johnson, formerly another Sky, but afterwards, the Destroyer of Worlds. Anyways, like, so the energy builds up to the point that, like, it creates this force field that, like, now there's this pressure, and then it has to go out, and then ultimately what has to, like a rubber band, that it has to go out, and from the tension, and then it brings back, like, all the sticky icky, no, like, as it goes out, and then it magnetizes all of the things, like, you know, when they do the lead, the like lead pencil lead, and then a magnet, and it all, like, goes on like little fibers or little filaments or something. I always thought that was pretty beautiful. And then it brings back, it attracts, and then it just sort of seems like that's just how things have to be. That makes sense to me. But to live that, to really live that, is the radical thing. That requires an incredible amount of trust and faith, and, like, I'm going to be so in me, like, bump all of that. You know, also inside The Body of God by Karen Curry Parker. She was having this part where it was like, you cannot be responsible for other people's reactions to your truth. You cannot deny who you are or your purpose because of your fear that you may hurt others. You will ultimately hurt them more with your dishonesty. You cannot control feelings or reactions of others, although you can control your experience with others. And, you know, I think, like, certainly for myself, I've dealt with a lot of fear and trying to control other people's potentially reactions to me, or, you know, I am a 5 too. Like, so that 5 is constantly being projected upon, and that has not changed. I'm very well aware of that. I'm also more aware of my heretical nature, though. So that's been a curious observation and a fun one to live out and observe. But yeah, I don't know. I got kind of caught up in that again. I mean, like, I'm a distracted individual, huh? But that's just how the mind goes. But yeah, oh yeah, not being able to control it, and, like, not trying to, and understanding that everything truly is working in the favor. And it's radical. And again, that's another one of those, as it gets easier, it gets easier. Like, if I were to look at those videos that I did before now, I probably would be like, oh, bless your heart. I mean, I've had that experience in the past, and, you know, what happens is I'll do this video, I'll watch it, like, a lot, like, you know, I don't think I'm alone in that. I think it's curious to observe ourselves. Like, I really don't see myself in the way that it's portrayed, and, like, the facial expression, and, you know, I just understand things a little better that people have mentioned to me in their observations. So I'm like, huh, that's hilarious. But then it's like, after I'm through with it, like, it's really weird to go back and revisit that. It's not like a fear, it's just like I gotta be in a mood. It's like I have enough experiences in my life where I connect with my past and future selves, just like in meditations or just moments dancing or singing, like, but, like, watching it, like, captured there, it is peculiar. And it's a hesitation and reservation from why I do, like, post on social media more or put myself out there. But that's another curious observation I've been having. It's like, projectors need to be invited. Mental projectors need to speak things out in order to make proper decisions, utilize a sounding board. I'm also a 5 too. So the 5 is the martyr. It's projected upon. It's the second roof of the house. It's right under, you know, being 6 in Buddhahood, going on to the roof. So it's not better than or top than. It's just like seeing from, like, that eagle eye. But, like, people are projecting onto them constantly. And I don't even want to go into all the ways. Maybe another time. That I've certainly witnessed that increasingly so now that I'm aware of it. I have something to call it. But the 2, the body design, is a hermit. That is so true. I'm so about my alone time. And, you know, all of that about just being able to accept that that's okay for me without having to feel guilty or about needing to, like, being okay with, like, no, that wasn't the proper invitation to pull me out. Like, I'm totally okay. Now, with that said, I did come across something the other day that was curious as well about the 5-2s. And it said, also on Instagram, I did not catch in my picture taking or picture capture, I did not get the handle of the person, unfortunately. But saying, he was speaking about somebody else who was asking about a particular person, and I don't know. Saying, thirdly, he is a 5-2 profile, which is one of, if not the most notoriously difficult profiles to motivate of them all. Whenever you are trying to motivate a 5-2 to either take some form of specific action or even motivate them to accept a viewpoint on life, unless they have already said that they are interested in said viewpoints or actions, they will absolutely resist you. The 5-2 is here to find their own mysterious destiny that only they can motivate themselves for when the time comes and their calling is found. They, the 5-2, knows this somewhere inside. One of the greatest tricks that can be used with these beings is to leave them alone as much as possible and allow them to find what calls to them. They will absolutely not be motivated towards anything else. But they are built to find that calling, and the more that others try to interfere in any way, the more resistance they will build towards those forces that are trying to tell them what to do and how to do it. So this whole aspect of the 5-2 needs to call themselves out, right? These are some very curious dynamics, I think you might agree, right? Okay, so need to wait to be invited, need to talk it out to determine if it's the correct recognition and invitation for me. And then I need to wait and see really, like, if it's, my thing anyway. Like, after all of that, it really doesn't matter. Like, it'll come to me in, like, some video, and then I'll act on it. And that's true. Like, I can speak for myself on that's true. And everything requires a story in regards to all of that. These are very, like, those aren't quick decisions by any means, it sounds like. I suppose it could happen quickly, but I've certainly been experiencing that, and thus rounds me out to the conclusion of this video, in the sense that I don't know if I'm going to be doing this more frequently. I feel like it's my intention, and it will be my test to see if I can get out of my head and determining how it needs to look. There may be some times where I look particularly scary. Just, like, physically. I'm like, why would you put that out there into the permanence of the, universe of fear? But I have been receiving a lot of messages that maybe this is really something to experiment with more considerably and maybe diligently and see how it develops. And I feel like there have been indirect invitations, but since they weren't overt, I dismissed them. And maybe this will be incorrect. Whoopsies. That's good call. Good call to stop. Gotta get ready for work. Which, don't get me started. Kinda got me started. Open throats. Oh my gosh. I get it. You feel pressure around me to say stuff, but, like, let me finish answering your bloody question before you go to the next one. Can I just say? Okay, thank you. Anyways, I'm gonna end. Like, my alarm threw me off. I was having this moment, and moment gone, but I hope to do these more. We'll see what's gonna happen. I don't know. I just feel like I have things to share, and I just don't. I've been experimenting, and all roads have led me back to this route. So, we'll see. Apologize that it's dark. I don't know. I guess these are the other things to consider. So anyways, peace and love. Thanks so much. I think this is, like, my shortest video ever.